our first speaker today, and I tell you what, I cannot think of a better person to kick this convention off. Judy began her Serra journey in Colorado. She then migrated to Minnesota. I don't know if she thinks that was good or bad. Her and her husband, Jack, they split their time now between Minnesota and Tucson. And also Judy travels to a tremendous amount of your clubs, and I know she has spoken at many of them. I always said, and I've heard someone repeat it one day, that a little of Judy goes a long way. So a phrase that I like to use about Judy is she's an enthusiastic go-getter. So please welcome our U.S. Council of Serra International President, Judy Cozzens. Judy.
I'm just so excited to be here because we have such a gift. The very first thing I want to do, though, is I want to introduce the U.S. Council Board. So would you please stand when I say your name? Because we would like all the Serrans to know who you are, because if they would like to talk to you, then they can say, oh, I'll catch that guy after this meeting. So, oh, what happened? Is John around here? Okay. We aren't going to applaud for each one. They're just going to stand, and then at the end we'll applaud for all of them. So you met Richard. You know Greg Sweitz very well. Coco Radotuisti. I hope I didn't murder your name too bad, Coco. And she's our secretary. Bob Campney, stand up and stay standing. And John Halloran is our VP for membership. Ann Rote, vocations. Nancy Gibson is communications. Eileen Fields isn't here today, but she does communications. Okay, I got to get used to these arrows here. Oh, wrong way. There we go. And these are our regional directors. Mark Bonkowitz, Gino Damadia. Raise your hand. Gino, did I see you? Okay, good, Gino. Bill isn't with us today. Mike Downey is a regional director and heads our leadership. So anybody anxious to learn more about leadership, we need you. Go see Mike. We have John McQuillan, who's not here, but we have Bob Buckheit, and he's Rocky Mountain area. Maury Ratuisti, and Diana Satius, and Larry Mackel, and they are for the Pacific area. So give a round of applause for these people who stepped up to leadership. Okay. You know, fellow Serrans, we're here and we have a chance to have a great gift. Our gift of time together. I want you to think about this. It's a great gift. You know, we're all on a journey together, and that journey is to heaven. And I want to see my Serra friends when I get there, and we're going to go on that journey together. So pick each other's brains a little bit. Find out what another Serran's doing to grow in holiness. I always think about the fact that, let me see, escape, will that take it away? Oh, it did. Good. Okay. You know, we have good news as we work to grow in holiness together. It's just wonderful. We really are working to increase the culture of vocations in our beautiful church. You know, one of the good things that's been happening with Serra is we're making super friendships with the United States Council of Catholic Bishops, the NCDVD, the National Council of Diocesan Vocation Directors, and with Focus, a new alliance with Focus I'm going to be talking about. One of my favorite quotes is from St. John Henry Newman. And just look at this a minute. God has created me to do him some definite service. He's committed some work to me which he has not committed to another. I have my mission. You know, you're not in this room by accident. God has put this ministry on your heart. And I think we actually have some brand new Serrans. Who's a first-time attendee at a conference? If you're a first-time attendee, can you stand up? Stand up. Let's welcome them. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Make certain you greet those first-time attendees and let them know what they're going to learn in New Orleans. I want you to think about it. Serra is the work that the Lord has committed to you. People ask me why I'm a Serran. And you know, I know many Catholics that are concerned about vocations. And the question I ask them is, what are you doing about it? I can answer that. I'm a Serran. I'm doing something about it. So challenge your friends. You know, there's so many reasons why you're Serrans. I'm not going to go through all of these because we need to move on in time. But you know, I'm a Serran because I want my grandkids to have a priest, to give them the sacraments. I want somebody to anoint me near death. There's so many good reasons why we serve Serra, and we need to share that with others. The number one question I'm asked as I travel across the United States to clubs is, why are the dues so high? And you know what I do? I look people in the eye and I say, a $100 investment in the future of your church? Is there anybody in this room that's not willing to make a $100 investment in the future of their church? Don't think of these as dues. I'm investing in the fact that my children and grandchildren will have a priest or religious there serving them. I'm planting seeds for people who will serve them. This is a good deal. You know, one of the things we do in my Club for Dues too is we have a scholarship fund. And that scholarship fund is given to people who want to be active and really can't afford it. And there's not many of them. Most people in the United States today can afford $100 a year. Your dues are at work, and I'm going to share 4 things with you today that where your dues are at work. Serra Spark, the digital resource kit, I left that word off. Look at that. It's a spar right now instead of a spark. New parish vocation ministry training, the 7 Serrans program, and building a partnership with Focus. We're going to talk about those 4 things quickly here. Serra Spark, the United States Council of Catholic Bishops and the National Council of Diocesan Vocation Directors, they came to us, to Serra, and said, help us. And guess what? Your participation in Serra has helped to provide a beautiful resource for vocation directors across this country, people serving on the front line. We're supporting them. We're holding them up. So the office, your dues help pay for the office. They were there to help us with that. The grant from the Serra Foundation, donations from members, and your dues funded serraspark.org and continue to fund it. It's a beautiful resource. Please go there and check it out. It has so many beautiful things for you. One vocation director came up to me at the NCDVD, where we now have a presence and we're there to support them. And he said to me, you know, I'm a half-time vocation director and I have 4 parishes in the other half-time. I don't even have a secretary in my vocation office. You have no idea what a great gift it is that I can go to the Serra Spark website, download a vocation activity, no copyright, and use it and just brand it with my diocese. I want to thank you for giving me help. He said, you're sort of like my secretary. And but we have lesson plans on there for teachers to talk about vocations. We have, we change things. A digital resource can be changed. People said to me, we want a Spanish resource for the Traveling Chalice program. So now, if you went to the Traveling Chalice program and you scroll down to the resources, you can download the Spanish version of the Traveling Chalice program. We're making this work. Now, there's one other thing I want to point out to you. Some of you have a vocation activity that's better than ours on Serra Spark. You need to tell me about it. We'll clean ours up. If you have something that's wonderful you're doing that we don't have on Serra Spark, we need to add it. And it's so nice with a digital resource, you can do that. Serra Spark, think about this. It's your one-stop shop for all your vocation needs. Easy to find, easy to use, available 24/7. It's wonderful, and it's easy to use even on your phone. So the National Council of diocesan vocation directors. This alphabet soup. I try not to use the initials, but sometimes it is easier. NCDVD came to us this past summer and said, we want to have parish vocation ministry training workshops. What could you do for dioceses around our country? So once again, Serra, using your dues money, stepped up to the plate. And what we've done is have a parish vocation ministry training teams that'll come to any diocese that can get 8 or 10 parishes together and provide the location and date and a lunch. There's not even a charge to the diocese at this point. They just have to provide the hospitality and the location and the people, and we'll come in. So be aware of that. Think about that gift for your diocese. Let us know. Maybe you can have us come to your diocese. Why do we want to do this? One parish in Hudson, Ohio, I think it's St. Mary's, right? St. Mary's Parish. They have a very vibrant parish vocation ministry. In the last 7 years, they've ordained 1 priest every year. It works, folks. We know it works. Think about this. Think about what you can do. So it's a natural, because we have the Serra Spark resource to build the parish vocation ministry training off. You don't have to haul home a large, binder of things that might collect dust. You can always go and download the new program you want to use for that parish vocation ministry. It just makes it easier. And we're out there starting the workshops. In fact, next Saturday, I'm in Tucson with a smile presenting a workshop. The next program I want to talk about, and just very, very close to my heart. When I was at the NCDVD conference, I saw a lot of new vocation directors. About 30% of them are new every year. And I saw a lot of people who were wondering if they were going to be able to meet the challenge of being a vocation director. And what I thought to myself was, we have to do something for these guys. And our board decided to start the 7 Serrans Project. It's we're going to support those vocation directors. I sort of like to think of it like we're like, when Moses needed people to hold up his arms? I'm holding up my vocation directors with prayer. I'm holding up his arms. But we are developing a whole new relationship with vocation directors when they know somebody's praying for them 1 hour a day. It's modeled after the 7 Sisters Apostolate. This would be a great gift for your parish priest, too. So look that 7 Sisters Apostolate up. And so what happens is we have 7 people from a club. They sign up for their day of the week, and they promise to pray on Monday for 1 hour. Somebody else does Tuesday, and they're going to do that for a year. And we already have the plan to carry this on because of the great response we've had from vocation directors. Remember, it's not that hard. You say if you go to a daily mass, offer your daily mass and communion just for that director. Say a rosary afterward and you're done. My time's a little funky. I do 2 a.m. on Saturday morning at home. But it works. I never have a conflict with my time. It's great. But you know what I say to people? If you happen to get sick, they said, how am I going to do it if I'm sick? I said, guess what? You can pray from home. If you're sick, you say that rosary in your bed and offer your suffering for the vocation director. Suffering is such an important thing. We got to offer all of our suffering up. As we get older, your feet hurt, offer it up. There are right now 210 plus prayer teams assigned. I had 17 at the beginning of the conference, but I found out 2 of those are now covered. So I have 15 teams left to assign. The most difficult selling point has been when I ask somebody in let's say in Denver, Colorado, to play for Venice, Florida. We have to cover those dioceses that don't have vocation Serra clubs. And so I'm hoping that throughout this conference, you might come up to me and say, where do you have a problem? Because you might know somebody in one of those Serra clubs and help me out. Steubenville, Ohio, if you know anybody in Steubenville, Ohio who's a Serran, come talk to me. They get to pray for their own director, and I haven't been able to reach them yet. And it's been about a 3-month challenge to make those 210-person teams, but Jack says it's good because I don't interfere with his TV selection. I'm busy working. This was a quote from a vocation director that he sent to us, and I thought it was so telling. Thank you for your generous prayers. It's really wonderful to know that I have somebody praying for me by name every day. Since the work of a vocation director is vital to the health and future of the church, the evil one, you know, that devil, he's out there. He's quick to discourage us and place obstacles in our way, trying to keep us from moving forward. Your prayers help remove those obstacles and give us the grace to move forward. And at the conference, one very young, new vocation director came over and said to me, boy, I've been feeling pretty nervous about this new job, but the fact that somebody's going to be praying for me, I can do it. Okay, the next thing, I don't want to take Monsignor Shea's time because he's so great. Interesting, we must move ahead always. And Serra we have these 3 wonderful programs that your dues are paying for, but now we have a 4th one that's wonderful too, and it's Focus. I hope that's not my phone. I turned it off. Bishop Andrew said only once has his phone rang during Mass. There are 5,000 seminarians in the United States right now, and 500 of them were former Focus missionaries. That is how well-formed Focus is when they send those missionaries to our seminary. When they interviewed the seminarians that were in our seminaries, it was either 30 or 35%. I just use 30 because I always like to be less rather than more. But 30 or 35% that were influenced by Focus. So like some of those guys had been in a Focus Bible study, or they had a spiritual director through Focus. Focus is doing great things. And you know what? There's 30,000 more. 30,000 alumni around the United States from Focus. They love the church. They're well-formed. They're married and raising large families. It's wonderful. And we are going to start reaching out to these well-formed Catholics that love the church. So what we're going to do is we've contacted the alumni coordinator for Focus. And he has these 30,000 in his data bank, and he likes to have events for them. So when we go to New Orleans, there's going to be an alumni event for Focus. And we're going to invite all of the alumni within a couple 100 miles of that event. And we're going to host them, wine and cheese and the whole business. And we're going to, at the end, give a little commercial for Serra. With these people, we don't have to beat them on the head because they already have a great love for vocations and are concerned with the number of priests and religious going forward. I have a granddaughter who serves on Focus, and it's been a blessing to the family. She is, when we come home, she just helps lead the whole family in prayer and everything. It's just, she's so well-formed. Why be a Serran? We are going to change the future of our church. We're you and you and you and you. I may not see the tree that grows from the seed I've planted, but I know it's going to grow. And we cannot let down. When the times are rough, the tough get going. I met I know one young priest, and shortly after he was ordained, the bishop who ordained him resigned. And it was a few days, and I remember talking to Father Kyle about this. And I said to him, "Is this upsetting to you?" And he looked at me and he said, "Judy, The young men who want to be priests today know that we are soldiers on the front line. We're here for the long battle, and we're here to fight. And he said, it doesn't bother me at all, because St. Peter was reaching down from heaven to ordain me. These young men, though, do need our support, every one of those vocations. When I start my rosary each day, the Hail Marys for faith, hope, and charity, I pray for a person struggling with a religious vocation. Support them. Lift them up in prayer. As a Serran, I don't like that word dues. Your investment in the future of our church is so important. And I'm going to be putting this on YouTube so that you can share this with your clubs if you have people talking about their dues payment. And Serrans that are out there that are going to watch us in the future, I say to you, you got to step forward and help us. We are changing the future of our church, and we need your help, and we need your small investment in your children and grandchildren having priests to serve them. Now, when you leave this meeting, I'd like you to check out the 4 things I've talked about today. Check out Serra Spark. Investigate the Parish Vocation Ministry Program. You're going to hear more about that coming up from Ann Rote. And I would just like to compliment Ann Rote and Richard Arians, because they worked very hard on putting that Parish Vocation Ministry training together. Things don't happen by accident. And I want you to check out if your club is praying for a vocation director, and if they're not, come and see me. I have the perfect vocation director for your club. And you know, it sort of works that way. I know Richard's club is praying for Peoria. They're not from his club. And they've sort of developed a relationship now with that vocation director. I have had other people tell me, we're all receiving beautiful notes from our vocation director. Send them a card and let them know you're praying for them. And then, of course, we need to work to connect Focus and Serra together. Serra is our mission. It's our way of saying yes to the Lord. The religious vocations we support and promote may be the ones that serve our children and grandchildren. So thank you for being involved as a Serran. May God bless you.